I hope you have some time because this might take a while.
Sure. I mean, considering I was born in Hawaii, I'm probably the one best able to help. But what exactly is it you need help with?
Well, I sent you the lyrics to Aloha Oi, but they don't seem to match the melody, so I must be doing something wrong.
Oh, yeah, that one's a bit tricky to follow, but Birch, why exactly are you going to Hawaii in the first place?
It's the Coming to America tour, remember? All 50 states and many of the Canadian provinces, too.
Oh, right. So, has it been going okay?
Well, except for this past week, it's been great. But the trip up to Anchorage took 3 days both ways, and most of it was boring as all get out. I only managed to get my texts out when we drove through areas that had cell phone coverage.
Why are you driving? Wouldn't it have been easier to fly?
If it were just people, yeah. But with all of our equipment, the cost would have gone through the roof. Time we had, but we weren't going to take a loss if we could avoid it.
Birch, Hawaii is a set of islands, remember? You can't exactly drive there.
Yeah, I did say if we could avoid it, remember? Les was willing to take the loss if it meant we reached all 50 states.
You're not planning on doing the entire concert in Hawaiian, are you? If I recall correctly, you struggled just reading Mele Kaliki Maka during Christmas that one year when I was a cub.
Don't remind me. It's why I called you. Just that one song, Bobby. They deserve it, just like we always tried to do a local favorite with the Beach Bears concerts.
So because aloha means hello and goodbye, that's why you settled on Aloha Oi?
Well, yes and no. It's the only Hawaiian song I know even halfway. But I don't want to sound like an idiot like I usually do when I try to speak a language I don't know. So, where do we start with this?
I sent you an email that has a recording of the proper pronunciation of the lyrics. My suggestion, though, is do the second verse in English. Might be a little easier.
Yeah, and would not surprise me if a lot of tourists attend the concert as well. But I still want the Hawaiian to sound perfect. Out of respect, you understand?
Of course. As long as you have the chorus down, that should help. That's the part even most tourists know pretty well. Ready for me to help you run through it?
We did spend about 3 hours on it until Bobby said I had it down. Then I did a quick recording on my laptop so I could practice on the plane. The concert in Seattle had a few problems, I suspect because we were out of practice, but nothing major. Then we had to pack up the few things we either couldn't rent in Hawaii or didn't want to. Many of the musicians were insistent on playing only their own axes, which is understandable. I mean, we can play others, but they won't feel right if you want to do your best. None of the extra stage lighting was coming, nor was most of the sound equipment, except for the mics. Those didn't take up much room. We cut back on costume changes and checked with the venue to make sure that they could cover everything else. All of the musicians were coming, although we did hire some local talent, and we were also bringing our sound and lighting crews. Only the bus and truck drivers were staying, but they were going to drive the vehicles down to Los Angeles, where we would be returning. It's a 17-hour drive, but after the past week, I arranged for a decent hotel for them in Redding, California, about halfway there. The flight took about 6 hours, and we were greeted at the terminal with leis, which we wore the entire time we were there. I mean, come on. It's traditional, and we weren't likely to be repeating this, so... Anyway, the venue, Blue Note Hawaii, picked us up at the airport and brought us straight to the concert stage. Some initial setup began then before we crashed for the night. I spent a good portion of the next day practicing my Hawaiian, so when we got to the final number, I felt confident I could give it my very best. Ke nihi a e la Showers cascade through the trees. Every drop is seeking out the blue of the lehua that grow in the farewell to thee, farewell to thee, to my sweet and gentle darling who is weeping. One fond embrace before I now depart.